Good day, everybody. This is Etienne Marcel Pertut, and welcome to another edition of the Original Free Kick. We're going to preview today's upcoming road contest for Atlanta United as it visits the Chicago Fire. As always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look us up under Etienne Marcel Pertut or the Sports Inquirer. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Atlanta United threw some curveballs at us this week with the quick turnaround for the media availability and the actual match. It's all good. We work with it. But we're actually recording this on May 10th, the day of Atlanta United's contest against Chicago. And we were at the training facility yesterday, May 9th, as they were preparing to face the Chicago Fire. So let's get right to the audio and video. We'll start with defender Derrick Williams discussing the team and the importance of this upcoming stretch of matches for the Five Stripes. Enjoy.
Trying to get comfortable and learn Ronnie's system. Where would you say the level of comfortability is for the team with Ronnie's system right now?
Yeah, it's comfortable. We're still trying to learn every single day, obviously, but yeah, I think we all know it. We all know what he wants, and we're trying to do that in games. It's just doing it for the duration of the games that we need to do it for the full 90. We do it in spells, and we look really good. It's just we need to get to the full 90.
I'm curious then, last week against Nashville, it's about as deep as I can remember Atlanta sitting at home. Was that instructed y'all, or is that something that just happened in the flow of the game?
It just happens in the flow of the game sometimes. If there's no pressure on the ball, you have to be ready to drop. You have to drop a bit deeper because they have runners in behind. So you just have to do what the game gives you. And yeah, they had quite a bit of the ball at our place, which we weren't too happy about. But like I said, we did really well in the first 35 minutes. I think that's the Ronnie football that he wants, and we just need to do more of it.
So is Ronnie encouraging y'all to press high and keep a high line, or is that it just didn't happen on Saturday?
Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah.
But obviously sometimes they break a press, so then you have to get into a mid block, and then sometimes you have to go into a low block. You literally just have to do what the game gives you. Sometimes, for example, a winger might do a long burst and run forward. He might be slow to get back in, so then they might get out that side, so then you have to drop into a mid block. It's literally whatever scenario comes up in the game, you have to react to it. But of course, we want to be high pressing, high line, in their face. That's the style of football we want to do.
Are y'all expecting to play that way against Chicago tomorrow?
Yes, 100%.
What would be the benefits of that against a team like Chicago?
They are a good team, very good manager, pass the ball well, but they also have weaknesses as well. I think they lost 7-2 a couple of games ago. So look, there's going to be opportunities. We're playing away from home. Yeah, it's an opportunity.
How comfortable are y'all in build-up as center backs at this point? It seems like it's a pretty static setup for the most part with a double pivot. Does it feel comfortable for y'all when you're building on the back?
Yeah, it does. That kind of is what I try to base my game about, is playing out from the back. So it's knowing where your next pass is going to be. That's the most important, and the players have to be in that position. If not, it kind of ruins the flow of the play. So then sometimes if they're not in that position, you look up, they're not there, you have to go back to the keeper, and then it slows things down and it gets their team up higher, puts more pressure on us. So it's just being in our positions and being patient and waiting for the ball to come to me, and be confident that we will get them the ball in the right positions.
You may not have a read on it, but how did Alexi do with maintaining that position in a new spot for the first time?
Yeah, I thought he did pretty well. Alexi's just a great footballer, just all around. Just you can give him the ball anywhere, you can trust he's going to keep it. So yeah, it suited him. You want to give him a lot of touches, and first half I think we did that. Second half not so much. But it's only his second time playing it in probably I don't know how many years. So it's new to him. So he has to adjust.
What did it feel like changed in the match from up to the goal? I think you guys had about 60% of the ball, and then after that, they had about 70. Did they do something different? Did the game just evolve?
In the first half, they definitely started pressing us higher. So if you've seen before the goal, me and Louise must have did 5 or 6 slow passes. Just it makes them irritable, and then they feel like they have to jump. And when they do that, Clicky turns, plays Alexi into the pocket. Alexi turns, plays the ball, and then I felt after 35 minutes they kind of pressed me higher. Every time I got the ball, I felt like Serge was pressing me quite quick. So then that would make me have to look at my options quicker. If they weren't on, go back to Goose, and then when we went back to Goose, we kind of forced to play a bit, which we needed to be more composed and try to find that extra pass. But like we said, we don't want to be passing the back to Goose and getting their team forward on us. But yeah, I think they definitely pressed us. They upped their press and gave us less time.
When those kind of moments happen, what are the best ways to break that up and get back to where you want to be?
There's so many ways. There's keep trying to do what you're doing, make sure you're in the positions to receive the ball, or sometimes you spin them. You sometimes get the ball at your feet, play into the channel. Especially with our pace up front, I think we need to do that a bit more. So then we start stretching them. As soon as you start stretching them, the centre backs, defenders drop an extra 2-3 yards because they think this ball's going to come behind. When they do that, that's when you find the 10s in the pockets. So it's easy saying it. It's just we all need to realise what's happening in the game and go, right, they might be up, they might be pressing us a lot for 10 minutes. Let's spin them for 5 minutes and then gain momentum back.
You mentioned kind of the anxiety that you'll or the other team will get when you guys are having the short passes back and forth and they get antsy. How does it feel for you as a center back when you guys can't get on the ball, like the game turned in the second?
Defensively wise, or you mean
kind of both, honestly?
So defensively wise, I'm okay with it because I know if I'm the other center back, I want them to press me. So then they're leaving the gap. So I know keep our shape, we stay in a good formation, and we put them into places where we want them to be. So we want to put them wide, so then we can trap them on the side. Offensively, it's just playing that cat and mouse game with the winger or the striker. How close can you get to him to make him bite? If not, drop more deeper. So there's so many different ways, and it's just like I said, it's just on the pitch we need to realise the situation we're in sometimes, especially momentum changes all the time, and it's just coming together so we're all on the same page. I think that's a massive thing, because there's no point in me spinning it behind if Manu and Thing aren't ready for it. So it's just being on the same wavelength.
3 matches in 7 days coming up here. How critical is the stretch for the team to get itself back on track and contending in a position you want to be in?
It's massive. But to be honest with you, I'm only thinking about Chicago. Because of the run we're on, we just want to correct it. We want to try get 3 points away from home, and then you get 3 points away from home, you start feeling good about yourself again, and then you try to create a run. And I think we can definitely do that, especially these 3 games. Chicago, they're a good team, organised, possess the ball well, but they definitely have weaknesses that we can exploit. A massive thing is just trying to keep that clean sheet.
As a defense, like you mentioned, it seems that it's harder and harder for you to get out a clean play from the defense. Is it because the midfield does not move the way that they're supposed to, or they kind of cross each other? Because I see that you guys coming out and you don't see a free man most of the time, so you have to either throw it or give it back to the keeper. What do you think?
I feel it's not just the midfielders, it's the wingers, it's everyone involved, and it's even myself sometimes. Sometimes I'm not wide enough, or sometimes I'm not dribbling with the ball. It's all about having that composure to get someone to jump to you. That's the main thing. If you can get someone to jump to you, then there should be an overload somewhere, and then it's just about finding that overload. When you pass the ball early, you're not creating an overload, you're just playing into their hands. So it's about having that confidence, taking that extra touch sometimes, dribbling at people, make them jump to you, play it. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's just the midfield, it's all of us, it's defenders, it's everyone.
How important have these training sessions been in building confidence within the team getting ready for Saturday?
Yeah, I think they've just been the same trainings as always. We always train hard. Confidence is funny. It's just as you get older, you realise you just want to be consistent. And when confidence comes into it, you might start doubting yourself sometimes. And it's just about, as I get older, it's just forget about what happened. So if I give the ball away, there's no point thinking about it. You literally forget about it and go on again. And I think we need to do that a bit more. If someone makes a mistake, just forget about it and just keep running, keep talking, and just having just belief in yourself to just say, okay, I made a mistake, but it's fine, I'll go again.
They aren't the fastest midfield in Atlanta United history. Do you have to adjust?
Tell him you said that.
Do you have to adjust in any way to kind of preparing for maybe a lack of mobility in midfield?
I wouldn't say lack of mobility because they both run about 11.5 to 12k every game.
Yeah.
They're always the highest in both teams. So they definitely don't have qualities that maybe a Bartek or Tristan have.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes if you get in a good shape, you can just block off spaces. You don't really have to make it midfield tackles all the time. And sometimes if you want to be a possession-based team, you need to have that confidence to take the ball anywhere and be able to pass it anywhere. So no, I feel confident with them in front of me. It's more me telling them where to go. So if it doesn't work, it's on me and the centre half because they should be in the right positions because I'm telling them. If they're not in the right positions, then it's on me. And then the same with all the positions. The right back needs to be talking to the winger. If they keep going down his side, he needs to be like, look, you're not doing your job. Probably tuck over here or wherever. So ultimately, no, I feel confident with them in front of me. Especially, I can just tell Lexi left, right. So it's fine.
All right, and that was defender Derrick Williams talking about the team as they get prepared for Chicago. Obviously, Nostien once again dealing with a hamstring injury, so that leads to struggles with the defensive back line. We've seen Atlanta struggle on multiple occasions this year defending, but really losing possession in the midfield. I think that's what Derrick was talking about kind of towards the end there, of not having the ability to control possession in the midfield really puts the pressure on the back line. So it feels like Atlanta is just constantly defending against teams with their aggressive offenses. So that's something that we'll see if they can find improvement on today against Chicago. And it's a critical stretch for Atlanta. It sits in the bottom half of the Eastern Conference standings. Have a big stretch coming up, 3 matches in 7 days, starting with today's contest against Chicago. That's what I was referring to. If the team really wants to not only let them contend for the Eastern Conference, but just put itself in playoff position, they're going to have to start getting 3 points in these matches. And Chicago today is a prime opportunity for that. Another person that elaborates on that is LA United manager Ronny Deila. Here he is discussing just some player availabilities and the Chicago match and more.
Not as well as he available.
Expect that. So we'll have to see tomorrow, but we rested him today to be ready for tomorrow.
Thank you. Curious on reflection for the Nashville game. Why did the line of confrontation drop so much? Why did the team have to sit in a low block so often?
I think, as I said after the game, I think 35 minutes was really, really good. That's how we want to look as a team. Been on front foot, been aggressive, press as high as possible, win the ball in their half. So that was something we can build on, and then we get drop deeper. There's many things for that, but I think we start some start to be a little bit tired, can be, and then we start in protection modus because of that, and we are not able to keep the ball enough when we get in this period, and we start to play sideways and backwards too slow, and then we end up being lower than we want to be. So that I think is the reason, but we need to use our energy better, so we don't waste energy in a situation we don't need to do it. And we need to work harder off the ball, on the ball when we get the ball, so they have to run after us, and that's what's happened in the first half. Because in the end we didn't run more than them. That was quite the same, but that also was a good number. We were much more. We run more high intensity, more sprints now in this game. It was most this year in the league. So what we talk about being fresh, you can see in that kind of numbers, and as I see it also in the way we win the ball in those 35 minutes that I think we played well. Same time, we didn't open up. We were together, and if we had done that, we would have lost the game, and we didn't do that, and that's good. We need to create more chances out of the opportunities we have to come into the final third and the situation we win the ball in. That's the thing we need to improve tomorrow.
It feels like in general the press hasn't been maybe as high as you would want it. Definitely not compared to maybe the 2021 NYCFC teams that you were with. What's been the reason for that?
I think you have to see what the line was last year.
Right.
I think it's much higher now than it was at that time.
Yes.
So it's improvement, and I think also if you see this 2020 team in New York, I don't see that we have that high line either.
Okay.
So I think that is a thing that we have to have we have to do the same things over time. So it's consistency, and also has also with have the right players to play the way we want to play. So that is two things, but. The biggest challenge we have had is inconsistency. You know, when people are in and out a lot, and then you don't get consistency in training and matches, and then your physical and mental level drops, of course, and you need to mix up a back four. I think for 10-11 games we haven't had the same back four one time. And again, it's not an excuse, but it's a explanation of inconsistency. And I think every team that suffers for that, they struggle to get the results they want. So consistency is very important for us.
How do you work on keep the intensity of like the first 35 minutes you mentioned in the match? How do you work with the guys?
We have to highlight the positive things. I think that is important. See what we're doing in these periods, and then understand also what we need to do to keep on these periods. We're gonna always have periods that we are lower, but we can't be that deep that we were all the time, especially at home. Away is always a little bit different because then opponents attack you a little bit more. But we need to first of all let them run more after us, because you have the possession. I think in the first half was more to us than to them, and then the second half it turns totally around, and then of course it's then you use more energy than you should do, and they have using energy on the positive way to have the ball and to attack us. So that is a mindset we have to turn around and recognize these kind of situations.
Alex, in the position that he played last game, is this something that you would try more often, or is it something that you were satisfied with?
I think he is an option there in games. Yes, he is. But he is a good footballer, so you can play in different positions. Still, I think now the last 4 or 5 games we have been for different reasons switching a little bit around in things, and still we haven't found the perfect scenario. I think we are getting closer all the time to know each other better, and also the players have played more together. I think that will come more and more now, the more we play together.
How do you and the staff find that balance between the long-term development, like you talked about, getting the line higher, being more patient in possession, keeping the ball more, versus the short term of a week like this, where it's 2 games on the road and then back home next weekend?
It's a very good question. That's the hard thing all the time, because you want to use time to understand when you start the next season, wherever that is, that you start on a totally different place than you started this year. At the same time, you need to win short term also. So that is to manage to do both is important. So you have to be adaptable. We have to do that. We have to try to do the best out of the squad we have and the availability that we have. So that's why I think we have been a bit back and forth in what we're doing, because we didn't think about the short term. We will just go for what you believe in. So that is. But now is. I really believe that we can all do something this season, and I know that a lot of things can happen into November, and we just need to keep on believing what we're doing. We need to grow together and be in an attacking position, and then everything is possible, because when you come to a playoff, then everything is 50-50, and if we are on a high, then everything can happen. So first of all, now we need to focus on the good performances and build on these 35 minutes. We played against a good team that had won 7-2 before, and we draw. And then if we get those periods longer, we're going to have more points as well. So that is the main focus.
What are some things that Chicago does well, and how do you get 3 points tomorrow?
I think they're a good playing team. They are a team that believe in what they're doing and they go for it. So they're the strength. At the same time, they can also be their weakness if they lose the ball in a situation that they shouldn't lose it, and we can take them on counterattacks. So they are expansive team. They are energetic. They go after you and they want to play you out. So then it gets a lot of spaces for us to play, but we have to take that fight first and have that togetherness and that aggression we had in the first 35 minutes, because then we will win the ball in higher up in the pitch and you make it much more easier for us.
Out of context question. Champions League. Who do you like the best, Inter or PSG? What do you think?
To be honest with you, I haven't seen so many of the games because I work at 3 o'clock, so I haven't had time to see the games. But I saw actually the last one with PSG, and I think Arsenal was really good in that game, and that was a top football game. And I understand that I missed something with the Barcelona game because that was an insane game. So I think it's going to be very close. I have a feeling on Inter Milan because they have been in that final before. There's no more long time since PSG has been there, and also it's a totally different team. They are much younger, so I have a feeling of that. But I really like the way PSG is playing as well.
So you like your team play more like Inter Milan or like PSG?
I think maybe PSG, but what works to win is you have to do. Sometimes you have to do. You have to be. You have to manage to play when you have the opportunity to play, but you also have to defend when you have to defend. And when you saw PSG, they defended long times against Arsenal because they were good, not because they were not good themselves. They had to do the work, and then they get the opportunities, and then they come more and more into the game. So I think I will go the PSG way.
Ronny, I was looking back at the year that NYCFC won in Moscow. There was a stretch in there that was somewhat similar. This one's about 1 point per game pace. What do you remember about that, and how did y'all break out of it?
That's true. We had that in August, September. We had a really bad period. I think we won 1 game in 10 or something. So that also was because of a lot of injuries. Right. We had not consistency. We never get the best team on the pitch over time. What happened then was that I had a good talk with one of the bosses in the organization, and then they say like, we believe in you, we keep going, we have to find the best team and play the best team over time. And then we come down here in Atlanta, and it was playing very bad in the first half, and was 1-0 down, and then we turned it around and we get that confidence, and suddenly I don't think we lost a game after that. So then we went 8 games without losing and won the MLS Cup. So that's what I say. Everything can happen when you get the right chemistry and the right time. But that doesn't come by itself. This is a lot of suffering, a lot of hard work, and we are tired of coming in this position that we after the game now. It's draining your energy because you really want to win football games, but at the same time you have to have focus on what you do good and what you can improve.
All right, and that was Atlanta United manager Ronny Deila as the team prepares to visit Chicago in a few hours here. Make sure you follow everything that we do on the sportsinquirer.net, and also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video host. Thank you for watching and listening to this latest edition of the Original Free Kick. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.